I came back that night worn down to bone. Another long day at work had left my body aching and my mind numb. All I wanted was a warm meal, a little quiet, maybe a simple evening on the couch with my wife. Something comforting, familiar. But the moment I walked through the door, I knew something was off. The house was too quiet. Not peaceful, empty, no aroma of dinner in the air, no soft music, no welcome. Just the dull flicker of the television in the living room, playing something I didn't recognize. She was there on the couch, legs tucked beneath her, staring blankly at the screen. Her face was unreadable, calm, detached. She glanced at me, then turned her eyes back to the TV like my arrival meant nothing. No smile, no greeting. I asked if everything was okay. She didn't answer at first. Then she muted the TV, slowly looked over at me, and said something I'll never forget. I'm going to start sleeping with other men. At first, I blinked. I must have misheard her. I even chuckled, half nervous, thinking it was a cruel joke. What did you just say? I asked. She said it again, slower, firmer. I'm going to be with other men. For a second, everything inside me went quiet. I felt like the air had been sucked out of the room. I stared at her, searching her expression for anything, anger, sarcasm, regret. But she didn't flinch. I asked her if she was serious, if this was about something I did wrong, if she was trying to pick a fight. But she stayed perfectly calm, like she'd rehearsed it all. She told me she had been thinking about this for months, that our marriage had grown stale, that she missed being desired, missed the thrill, the novelty. She said she didn't believe in monogamy anymore, that it wasn't for her. She told me she still cared about me, but not enough to stay confined. And then, just like someone casually announcing they were going vegan, she said I could accept it or walk away. Either way, she was going through with it. I sat there frozen. My hands trembled. I could barely think, let alone speak. I remembered everything we had built together, the apartment we made into a home, the late nights under the same blanket, laughing at movies, the plans, the hopes, the quiet talks before bed. All of it felt like it was being discarded in front of me like trash. I asked her if she had already done it, if there was someone else. She paused. Then, almost indifferently, she said yes. Once, maybe twice. She didn't apologize. She didn't seem ashamed. She looked like she had just unloaded a weight, like this was freedom for her. I stood up, grabbed my keys, and left. I didn't even know where I was going. I just drove. For hours. Ended up parked outside a grocery store, staring at nothing, trying to keep from falling apart. The next few days, I stayed with a friend. I didn't tell him the whole truth, just that things weren't working out. Part of me was too embarrassed to say it out loud, that the woman I loved had sat me down and told me she wanted other men, and expected me to understand. I returned home only once, to pack. She didn't argue, didn't try to stop me, just stood in the kitchen, arms folded, watching me like I was a guest she no longer cared for. I took only what I needed, left behind the couch, the decorations, the framed photos. I didn't want any piece of that life anymore. Over the next few weeks, people started noticing. A few mutual friends reached out. One told me she'd already been seen out on dates. Someone else said she'd posted pictures with another guy just days after I left. It tore me up. I cried in the middle of the night, sometimes at work. I kept wondering, was I boring? Not enough? Had I missed the signs? But eventually, I stopped trying to answer questions that didn't matter anymore. I went to therapy. I started lifting weights. Took up old hobbies I had buried after marriage. I traveled alone for the first time in years. Started writing down one thing I was grateful for every day, even if it was just sunlight or the taste of coffee. And slowly, I began to feel like myself again. Months later, I got a message from her. 3 words. I miss you. I stared at the screen for a long time. Then I locked my phone and went back to what I was doing. I didn't reply. There was nothing left to say. Because I had healed. Because I had learned that love, real love, doesn't ask you to abandon yourself just to keep someone else happy. Real love is loyal. It's respectful. And I know now that I deserve nothing less. I don't know where she is today. Maybe she's still chasing something new. Maybe she regrets it. Maybe she doesn't. It doesn't matter. What matters is that I'm free. I'm whole, and I'll never let anyone take that from me again.